To quote Alex Hermosi, do cool stuff and talk about it. My name is Demond Jones, and I've been in the IT space for about 18 years. I started at Helpdesk, moved to leadership, and now I run Beyond the Helpdesk, where I help IT pros get seen so they can get paid what they are worth. Now, my goal in this video is simple. I want you to understand the value of an amazing story. And in order to get an amazing story, you have to go and do something amazing, or at least interesting. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing that you can look to do is to fix something that no one asked you to fix. So I remember when I was at NCR, I was at a call center, and we used to get these calls. They were searching for server calls. It's where the register is offline. This would happen when you would bring your registers out from the winter storage to summer use, and oftentimes they would be offline. Then there's other situations, but it would cost the site $400 for someone to go out there and fix a network issue. No matter what the issue was, it was $400. Now, we were getting heat because we were dispatching and it could be something, or it was something that could have been fixed remotely, like unplug, plug back in, missing whatever it might have been. And we were dispatching kind of often, and the sites were like, yo, what's going on? So my numbers were amazing when it came to searching for server. And I took on the task of creating this guide. Now, mind you, we had one already, but it was cumbersome, and you don't want to have to read through this long document when the customer on the other end is already heated at you. They're telling you, we just need somebody out. You get frustrated and you just dispatch. Mine was much shorter, it was more concise, and it helped me get through calls because I was killing them. I was knocking it out of the park. But I worked on second shift, and I'm like, what can I do to get the second shift to look better? And get my name up there a little bit higher. So I passed out my guide to the second shift to see how they worked through it. And not only that, I basically told them, hey, when you get done with the document, if you still finish and you can't fix it, I am me, and I will walk over there and we will make sure that we did everything that we could before dispatching. Now, our numbers for second shift decreased drastically by following that guide and me working with the different users. And it did a lot. It increased morale too, because they knew they had someone on their side who, just before dispatching, I would help them out to make sure that their numbers are looking good. So it was a win-win situation, and the amount of money that I helped the company save, because then we moved it to first and third shift. It looked good. It looked really good. So find an issue, and like I said, that nobody asked you to fix, and go fix it. The more money involved, or the bigger the issue, the better it looks on your resume. Now, I know I'm going to have a lot of people out there where they're like, well, Demond, you were already in the IT space. Of course you got a fix or an issue or a story that makes sense to talk about. What about us we're still trying to get there? Well, let's use the second piece to this, which would be raise your hand for what no one else wants to do. Like that, if you can look for those sorts of things, it will help you as well. Now, my example there would be when I worked, I don't know the technical name of the job, but I basically was the person who would dispatch the vendors to go and fill up the soda machines and the candy machines and the snack machines on the South Carolina military base. And before I got there, Um, there was this guy who worked in that role, and then he left, and no one really wanted to work in that position because, quite frankly, they didn't like their regional manager. And so I knew the lady and her husband, and they were telling me that I would be a good look there, but it's a tough role. And they didn't like him because he was strict, like he was really stern. But I do well under that kind of leadership. And I was like, you know what? No one else, like, I'm not saying I was looking at it like no one else wants it, but I was looking at it as a way to do better with my career. So I get there, and the regional, used to always talk about what the previous guy did, how much he missed that he left. And I'm competitive. Like, you're not going to keep talking about this when my numbers, like, number for number, it was pretty much equal with the guy who was there. But I wanted to eclipse him. So I started looking for ways and opportunity to set myself apart from the previous person. And I was going out on a limb. So not only did I take the position no one wanted, but then I had to excel. So I started doing things like reaching out to the vendors and telling them, like, hey, I know you're supposed to be at site A, but we have an event going on site at site B. I need you here. And they're like, well, before I can't get to that site because the person who is a 2-man site, and I need another person before I can go there. I'm like, meet me there at said time and I will help you. Like, I was doing it because I knew what it would look like for my numbers. Another example was when uh, this is before credit card machines were on the vending machines. And I remember doing my research, and I found that we didn't have not one credit card on the machines in the Carolina area. None. But I seen where Florida was kind of flirting with that a little bit, and they had a couple of machines that they were testing it out with. So I bought the idea to our base, and we were killing with numbers. Like, you got to think, people in the military, they might not have their wallet on them with cash or whatever. We were trying to move it, like it was a move more towards credit cards, and we got it done. When the year was over, between me doing those items and finding new sites and stuff like that, my numbers almost every month tripled the guy who was before me. And you think I didn't put those numbers on my resume? Come on now. So again, you gotta raise your hand for the things that no one else wants to do because it stands out more. Um, and then last is track your numbers. That is tip number 3. Track your numbers. I know a lot of times people don't really think about their numbers until they're looking for a job, and by that time, to me, it's too late because you probably done forgot a lot of the details. Maybe you were top 3 in sales for maybe 5 months in a row, and then you forgot about it and you didn't put that on your resume. Or maybe you had the lowest uh, talk time, but your resolution was way up here. So, that looks really good. And you had that for about 2 months or whatever. Write those down. Those bullets look amazing. And when I started really seeing what the numbers can do and what the stories can do, like, I saw how I got catapulted, not only through that, but just by the stories alone. You know what? Think about it like this. When you talk about GOAT conversations, again, I love basketball. You talk about Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Dr. J, whoever is your GOAT, what do they all have in common? There are a lot of amazing stories about who they are and when they might have, an NBA player might have met them or played with them on the same team. Or maybe you're a fan and you're like, man, I remember that game. I watched that game when I was in high school, whatever it is, but you got stories. It's the stories that matter. And your game plan is, or would, what I want from you is to take that same logic and start building your stories, because you can put those stories on your resume, and then that will get you more interviews. And then you will put that same detail, like, because those are going to be your highlights on the resume. But then when you get the interview, now you can really go into detail and talk about those stories so you can convince somebody that you're the right person for the job. So to wrap up, be legendary. Go do cool stuff and talk about it so you can jump into your first IT role. Now, if you feel like this has helped you, look in the description below and join Beyond the Helpdesk, because I work with the members one-on-one, so I can help you get that role. And then if you continue with me, that first role is just to get you there, but I'm pretty sure that you have ambitions and dreams of doing more than that, and I want to help you get there. So join now, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.